Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Trini Jackson and this is going to be another podcast recording. I just left the gym, hence the get up right now, but I didn't want to not put out a video and podcast today, so I just went ahead and we're going to consider this the late night show, and tomorrow I'll make sure I get it out of the way earlier. So this is our little late night session. If you want to listen to the podcast, the link will be in the description below for Apple Music and Spotify, but let's get into it. We are back with another episode of Conversations Are My Thing. Of course, I am your host, Trini Jackson. Guess what? I am excited about what we're going to be discussing today. As always, I've been in an amazing mood the last few weeks, honestly, and I'm really glad I could be able to share this energy with y'all, whether you're getting this from YouTube or getting this in actual podcast form. I hope you feel my energy as we talk about what we're going to talk about today. So I'm just finishing a leg day. What I'm about to tell you ties in with what I'm going to be talking about later in this episode. So everything ties in together. I'm just going to tell you the story right quick. So a couple weeks ago, I went to a new gym, a really big gym called Alphaland, and I've heard a lot of things about Alphaland and about a lot of individuals on what they perceive it to be, and it's a really nice gym. So people think I actually made a video on it, so it's on my page. If you have not heard of Alphaland, you want to see what I'm referring to as I'm discussing this, there's a video, an Alphaland tour that I did, so you should go peep that. Anyway, so a lot of individuals are saying, everybody that goes there is an influencer, and they're like, makes everybody feel super insecure, whatever the case may be. I went and I made it my duty to make sure I made friends there, and I actually had an amazing time the first time I went. I met a lot of individuals, and I actually not wanted to run into anyone who gave me a bad attitude or a weird vibe. I met a lot of cool people there, honestly, and one individual in particular, Danny, I met her there, and she's just super cool, and I got a video of me actually meeting her. Boom. Fast forward a couple weeks. Now it's today, right? The last time I went to Alphaland, which was about 2 weeks ago, I saw Xandra in person. I met her on Instagram, and we met each other in person. Vibes were immaculate. Bet, cool. And Xandra knows Danny, so bet. We made a little group chat. Fast forward to today, we're like, okay, we're gonna hit legs today. Had an amazing leg day. They work really hard. That's why I'm in the outfit I'm in right now. I just got back from leg day, and really motivating, but really dedicated to the gym, and they show up consistently. So it was a great leg day. I'm excited to drop the content. And as I was driving home, I said, it's so crazy. I just met the both of them. And Danny and I have worked out twice together, amazing times. And now I've met Xandra, and we worked out. So it's crazy. Now we're all participating in the same hobby that we enjoy together, after just meeting a couple of times. It's so interesting, right? And then I think about individuals who like to complain that their friends don't go to the gym. I mean, dang, it would be easier to go to the gym if I, had someone that was going with me, right? And I'm saying the gym right now because I'm using the example that I'm referring to. However, I really want you to consider and apply this to really any hobby that you have been interested in, or a habit that you want to take on, or something you wanted to change about yourself, whatever the case may be, where you wanted to do it, but for some reason you thought you needed somebody else to be doing it with you so you could feel better about doing it, period. Now, I'm using the gym, though, because that's the example that I'm referring to, because that's what happened today. So many people are like, I wish I had friends in the gym, or I wish I did whatever the case may be. However, I think this is why mindset is so important, because you have to really think about how you're approaching it. I don't really feel like going out of my way to get the current people that I know now to be able to get interested in what I'm doing, right? I don't need them to be interested in what I'm doing, because I have my own life to live, right? You have your own life to live. So if there are trips you want to take, vacations especially, if you feel like you want to go somewhere, you want to see the world, you should not feel like you need to wait on anybody. And we're going to get deeper into this, because I think this is something that a lot of people can take on and change and start to expand their network in ways they never expected, and it's going to give you such a more positive outlook on creating new habits and getting new hobbies. I'm like, dang, I'm driving home. It's so crazy how people always say they don't have any friends in the gym, but when they go to the gym, they never try to talk to anybody. They haven't tried to make a friend. And I believe that once you get the habit of being that person that's going to initiate the welcome, initiate the introduction, put your hand out for a handshake, smile, give a warm greeting. When you become that individual, because mind you, first impressions are so important, and you maintain a pleasing personality, right? A pleasing personality can take you so far. If you have the ability to communicate with people, and for people to feel like you care about what they have going on, and for people to want you around, right? That for people like, you know what? Let's go out, let's go, da, da, da. Make sure you invite so-and-so, make sure you call them, because we love having them around, right? A pleasing personality, so important, and can put you in so many rooms and give you numerous opportunities. And I'm saying this because I've experienced numerous times, and I want you to understand that if there's something that you're interested in or a place you want to go, you have to get comfortable with the concept of just meeting people there. Why go out of your way to try to force someone to California with you, and they want to really go travel to Miami and you want to go to Cali? Look, in a safe way, right? Safely. But I've done this numerous times. But go by yourself and make friends, to go naturally do the things that you're interested in, and the people that you meet that are in the same, that are at the place, whether it's at the gym or whether you're knitting or you're sewing, you're at the store, people that you are meeting in places that you frequent and you enjoy, they have the same interest as you have a common interest, right? So meet people there. My mom does the same thing. Me and my mom are very, very, very similar in that respect. I went to London one time in my life, and I went by myself. My mom was completely nervous. She was so nervous the whole time. Oh my gosh, and I can make a whole video on that trip and how magical it was and how it went off so well. What I remember most is one night I went out to a really big spot in London called the Sky Bar, and you basically go up to this big building, and then it's all glass windows, so you can see the whole city. It's a really beautiful view. It was super nice, super amazing, right? And while I was there, I'm there alone. When I go out alone, I now have to go talk to somebody because I do not like standing there bored, right? So I go out of my way and I'm looking around, and I just so happened to run into the one woman in that almost entire place, I would imagine, that just so happens to be from Houston, Texas. I'm in London, right? I'm literally in London, and I meet someone at the Sky Bar that lives in Houston, Texas. She's super cool, brings me over to her whole group of friends, and I talk with them all night. They ended up helping me get home as well. It was a crazy turn of events. But I didn't wait to go to London. Like, who can go to London with me? Like, can anyone come to London? Who wants to go with me? Who's trying to do that? No. I'm going to meet people there. I'm going to force myself to meet people there. And I met, that was one great night I had. My mom does the same thing. She goes out to play, like, of course, in a safe way. I'm not saying go out and start walking the streets at night, okay? But in a safe way, because I've done it safely. I do everything safely. I leave on good times, and I'm aware of my surroundings, whatever the case may be, in a safe way. Women especially. However, do not ever wait on anyone to go really dive into the things that you are interested in, that you feel your life is called to. Meet people there. When I wanted to start going to church more, which I really still recently did, and I'm like, it's been a new thing for me, because me going on my own is just like different than anything I'm used to. So as I'm at church, I'm looking around, I said, and at first I was not super uncomfortable, but I was like just playing it low key. Like, just playing it low key. It's something I'm not really used to, but I wanted to be more spiritual in my life and feel more connected to whatever. I'm telling you, whatever higher being you believe in, I feel like you just have to believe in something and believe that there is some way, somehow, something that is putting me in positions and that wants to see me do well and that wants to see me successful and will make things happen for me if I believe in it. I don't care if you call it the universe. I really don't care. As long as you believe. I don't care if you believe in the rock outside. But as I've been going, I was like, you know what? I want to be more spiritual. I'm going to go to church. And I was playing it super low key, and I just wasn't even talking to people. I would go in, I would get my praise and worship, and then I would leave. And the last time I was there, I was like, you know what, Trin? It's time for you to really, really involve yourself in this community, right? You're showing up every weekend. You've been here a minute. You're starting to recognize people holding the doors. You're starting to recognize the individuals that are attending the services. Why don't you do what you need to do to actually start to meet people here? And I know I can. It's going to take a friendly greeting, a smile. You'd be surprised how many people will love to meet you, and you have to start to have the mindset that people are going to love to meet you. So I didn't wait for someone to want to go to church with me. Now I know that it's time for me to make friends at church. It's time for me to make friends in the places that I'm already frequenting. So it gives me another layer of incentive to attend. It gives you another layer of incentive, especially if it's a hard habit we're talking about. Like, not hard, but let's say I'm going to use going to the gym again. to create a consistent fitness flow and to really make the gym a part of your life out of nowhere when you have never done it before and when it's super brand new to you and everything is foreign. You got to be really, really dedicated, but it does make it easier to also know someone else that's doing the same thing you're doing. Go in the gym and see who else is doing the same thing you're doing. And then when you go to the gym, even just starting to give somebody a wave. I love the gym wave. I love the gym wave, right? I don't need to come and do it. We don't need to do full face-on-face 30-minute conversation every single time, or even a quick little conversation, boom, boom, how you're doing, whatever, get back to your set, whatever the case may be. But meeting people in the gym, so now you know that if you don't show up, and now if I don't go, I mean, eventually Carla's gonna notice. Right now she's gonna call you and do anything like that, but it's like the concept that someone else is there that is probably gonna be able to hold you accountable. Maybe they could hold you accountable as you go into it, but if you have a tough task you're looking to take on, it does help to have someone else that's doing it. Go do it and meet somebody there and be like, you know what, I am not leaving here without a new person to add to my contact list. I'm not leaving here without extending my network. It has to get to that level to where you start to put yourself in position to meet new people. Going to events you hear about in your city just to see who else shows up. At this moment, just reminding me of it, but I'm like, you know what? I want to start playing beach volleyball. And I don't remember what had made me want to start playing beach volleyball, but I was like, yeah, I'm just going to go on Eventbrite and I'm going to search. I'm going to see if there's any beach volleyball happening in Houston. And there was. Mind you, I did end up going to Miami the next week, so I ended up not being able to make it to their meetup. And now that I'm thinking of it, I'm gonna make sure I make it have it again, and just go next time and start to make it a thing. Because I'm like, you know what, I want to play beach volleyball. I know there are other people that play beach volleyball in the city that I'm in. Let me see what they be doing. Let me see where they get at, where they get down, and let me make friends there so that the next time they go play beach volleyball, they think, oh, I'm gonna invite Trent. I think poetry is a good example because that's something I'm really interested in, spoken word poetry. And I'm like, you know what, I want to go to like a poetry night. So I'm just like, okay, bet I'm gonna find one in Houston. These are things I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna write down the habits and hobbies that I am interested in adding in my life, and I'm gonna go try them out. You can do it once a month, but at least at the end of the year, you have tried numerous different things. And every time you go, tell yourself, I am not leaving without expanding my network by at least one person, point blank, period. And making that the standard. And then starting to say, I'm not leaving this event without meeting two people. In my opinion, once you start talking to people and you start, shaking hands and you're smiling and you're getting your energy out and you're receiving positive energy, whatever the case may be, after you get back by your third person, you've talked to your third person, that's when like the kind of like, okay, bet the shield has fallen. Now you're in mode. Now you've officially locked in. And the next person that makes eye contact with you, you're probably going to end up giving them a hello, a smile, and a greeting, and a handshake, and an introduction anyways, because now you're feeling it. And you're realizing, wait, this wasn't as bad as I thought it was. I think anticipation and anxiety stops a lot of people. You got to get to the point where you can just force yourself to do it mechanically without thinking about it, because the worst part is wondering, oh my God, what are they going to say when I try this, and da-da-da, what am I going to say after I do this? And you've got to be able to let the conversation flow. Even if you start off rocky, I'm telling you, being able to master your social skills will literally put you in rooms that you want to be in. I'm telling you to do this at things that are already interesting to you, whether that's going to conferences. I think going to conferences is amazing for that reason. I love attending a good conference. If I go to a conference that is something that I'm interested in, let's, for example, Believe Nation, David Divinity is an event where it's like one of the people that I look up to, and he has an amazing speaking ability and brings out numerous individuals to speak, and everybody's taking notes. When I'm at events like that, I'm making sure I'm talking to people. I gotta be meeting people because y'all are clearly as dedicated to this as I am, because y'all paid to be here and I paid to be here. I think going to conferences and putting yourself in networking spaces so that you can become more divulged into the things that you're interested in. You'd be surprised how many people will help you in the future because you met them one time. You would be absolutely surprised, but pleasantly, because people don't mind helping you. If they're interested and they see you have a common interest, it's gonna feel like they're just helping a friend, right? It's gonna feel like they're helping a friend. I'm speaking from like experience of people that I've met at events that I frequent, and I was like, you know what? For example, I was doing Turo for my car at one point, and there was a group that we were in for the Zoom call. So once a week we do a Zoom call. It was a Facebook group, and I met one individual named Alton Guyton, and he has helped me to levels I cannot explain, just because he sees that I'm also interested in the same, because we were in the same Zoom. Like, making sure that you are always going out of your way to extend your circle. You never know who you meet. You never know who may change your life in the future. Okay? So, thank you all for listening. Tomorrow's episode is going to be much earlier than this, but I appreciate each and every single one of you. All of my seven listeners, okay? I appreciate each and every single one of you, and I cannot wait for you all to watch this podcast grow. Make sure you leave a rating if you like anything you heard, and stay tuned for our next episode. I hope you all have an amazing day. Love. Mwah.